What up, our proud viewers, and welcome to yet another episode of the new season of Eagle Watch. Joining me yet again, UWL men's basketball head coach JT Gritzmacher. JT, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good, Daniel. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time. Nothing to be ashamed of for the season. It ended on Saturday, but nothing to be mad if. You made the first Sweet 16 in school history, along with tons of other school history. What are your overall thoughts on the season now you've had some time to think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, ending, going to the Elite Eight, taking a tough loss. But when you look back, like right now, it's still, obviously it stings. It just happened. But when we look back, it'll be something we'll be able to celebrate. I think it was an awesome year. I think we came together. I think we got better throughout the year. And it was a lot of fun. I think it's something that, will motivate guys who are coming back. And it's something that the guys who graduated and are leaving, it kind of leaves them with a good last taste in their mouth.
And you were in your second season as head coach. Head into your third season. How does this motivate you?
Yeah, I mean, I think just it's when you get to this point, get to the Elite Eight, one game away from the Final Four. It's for me, it shows some things that we need to make sure we have worked on for next year. Some different things maybe we'll have to do. Maybe some things we got to fix. But it's just the same thing. It motivates you. It gets you back on the recruiting trail, back in the office, just kind of ready to work because you're so close to get into a Final Four. And it's not guaranteed that it can happen again. So you want to make sure you're doing everything you can to put yourself in the best spot for it to happen again.
Let's talk about the two games over the weekend. Both of them were at home. Friday's game, just absolutely wild. Kind of a crappy start to the second half. You guys fell down 16, rallied back, and won by 7. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I think atmosphere was awesome, right, in both games. Friday was, before Saturday, I thought Friday was the most people we ever saw at Mitchell Hall. It was loud. I thought we were back and forth. Illinois Wesleyan's a really, really good team, physical team. Second half, they kind of got on a run, and we just couldn't find our groove offensively. And then, with about, 13 minutes left, we finally started to get some stops, and then offensively, we found our groove. JJ kind of took over the last, 4 or 5 minutes of the game. We hit a couple big shots, and then the momentum, I think, from the crowd, from everything, just made it like we had them on their heels. And just kind of took over, and we were just kind of playing off of that. I think that was the biggest thing. And once we got going, it just felt like we really couldn't get stopped. And it was fun. That was probably one of the most fun games I've coached in my career.
Talked a little about JJ, just kind of taking over late in that game. He scored 18 of his 21 in the second half. How do you do that?
He's just really good. Like, I think the biggest thing with him is he has a confidence. Once he sees one or two go in, he knows he can just kind of start to take over a game. We had guys who hit shots, so that helps because now he spreads the floor. He was doing a lot of driving from the top of the key, and you can't really help off because he'll find somebody. But I think he's one of the best bigs in the country this year, and I think he will be next year as well. So when he plays with that confidence and that swag that like nobody can stop him, he's really, really high level. And for me as a coach and for us as coaches, we just get him the ball, right? It's pretty simple. Get him the ball. Let's move out the way. Let's run. We run a couple little actions, but make sure we can get him to a spot where he can score.
So heading to Saturday's game, Sam Grieger had a team-high 30 points. With him just being a sophomore, what are you most excited for with him coming back?
Yeah, I think his growth has been the biggest thing. Like, if you go back from last year as a freshman to in the preseason to even throughout the season, then he got hurt, and then coming in this year, how much he grew from where he was at last year, and then throughout the season this year, like his growth on the court. And now next year, he's going to be motivated by that. He's going to be motivated because he's a winner. Like, he wants to win. He's in the gym all the time. He had unbelievable night scoring, but I guarantee if you ask him, like, he didn't think it was enough for him. So like he's highly motivated by himself and kind of his biggest critic. So I know he's going to be in the gym all off season. I think, like I said after the game in one of the press conferences, it'd be hard for me to not think that he's going to be a preseason All-American. There's not going to be many, if any, point guards in the country better than him next year. And I think he knows that, and he's going to be in the gym all summer making sure he proves it.
So we talked a little bit after the senior day game about just this senior class, what they meant to you. But now that the season's over and you just kept breaking records from that point, what are your overall thoughts and what would you like to say to that?
Yeah, I think they, like I told them, I told them after the game Saturday, I think they understand, how I feel about them. But they'll go down as arguably the best class that ever played here, right? They made 2 NCAA tournaments. They won an NCAA tournament game. Will Furman has won a tournament game, and he wins 3 tournament games this year, gets to an Elite Eight. He's played in over 100 games. Torin Hanna, same way, just consistent, doing everything he's asked to do. And really one of the best people I've ever coached. And then Max Siebert, same thing. Like one of the best people I've ever coached. You know, he had a starting role early. His role changed. It didn't change who he was throughout the year. Griffin Ginder, same way. You know, he's the best people, right? Like he didn't have last year. He didn't play as many minutes. This year he played more minutes, but it's still sparingly. He still came in. He led every day. He did everything that we asked him, and guys looked up to him. And then you got Julian Hodges and Chris Green. Julian's been with me since coached him in junior college, so I've kind of seen his growth over 4 years. And he went from a junior college player who was maybe a very immature freshman to someone who's going to graduate with a degree from lacrosse. So that's speaking highly. And then you got Chris Green, who was an unbelievable, reserve backup point guard for us. Like his junior year, he had to start the whole second half because of injury and played all the time. Senior year, his minutes go a little lower, but he played his role perfect. And I think he played some of the best basketball in the tournament that he's played all year. And then that's a guy who before I got the job, he was trying to go. He was reaching out to every school in the state, right? Every YX school, and nobody wanted him. And then he kind of had that as a chip on his shoulder, and he came here, and I thought he did an unbelievable job. So the biggest thing with those guys, though, is their basketball is cool. Like, they did awesome. Mm-hmm. But off the court, they're way better people than they are basketball players, and that's saying a lot. And, they are unreal people. Like, everybody's favorite player is Chris Green. Like, they're just good people. And I think the guys love being around them, and I think that's the hardest part about this is that we know that they're never going to be able to put the jersey on again. Yep. So I think we gave them a heck of a run, and anything that happens for our program after this year is going to be thanks to those guys and then the guys from the class before.
So talking a little bit about the lacrosse fan base throughout the season, but also this weekend, the stands both nights, as you said, were just packed. I mean, loudest I've seen that place, most packed I've seen it. What would you like to say to the fans that supported the team the whole season?
I mean, I appreciate it. I think we all appreciate the support. It was awesome. I think throughout the year, right, you want people to come to your games, you got to be a winner. Like, that's simple. You can try to promote and get people out to games, but nobody's coming to watch you if you're a loser. So you win games, people will come. As we won games throughout the year, people started to come to the gym. And I think the biggest thing that I hope when people came and watched us, they saw how hard we played, and it made them want to come back and watch us again. And I think Friday when we were out there, that was, like you said, unreal. Like, it was an awesome environment. It was loud. And then Saturday we had more people, and that was the first time Saturday when we're at 60 minutes before tip-off. Usually there's maybe one person in the stands. You could already feel a buzz coming in. Like, their stands were filling up, and that stuff gets our guys fired up. And obviously we get the job done Saturday, but we appreciate that more than anything. And I know going in the next year and going forward, our standards kind of been set. Yep. And I hope that those same fans who came on late or started to support us, they do the same thing next year, because we want all of them to be like that. Like, that advantage that we get if we have a home court advantage like that, it's going to be really, really hard to lose at Mitchell Hall. And if you can win all your home games, you're going to be a pretty good team. So I appreciate it. The guys fed off it, and we appreciate all the support.
JT, of course, thank you for your time. Congrats on a great season. We will talk to you sometime in the off season, and go Eagles.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Daniel.